You're listening to the Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, we are hiding in our basement, we are watching the skies, and we are wondering exactly how we'd like it if someone stuffed us into a catering truck. Also, at the end of this podcast, details on how you too can enter your story into the Captain Oblivious contest. It's nice to be up in the studio because I just spent the last 45 minutes down in my tenant's apartment in the basement because we have tornadoes. Yes. Yeah, and we have somebody visiting us from California. And the person visiting us from California is not used to tornadoes, only earthquakes. So it's interesting. You get to compare your natural disasters.
2 times since we've lived in Arizona have we had tornadoes. And that would be, well, I'm really bad at math. So 2000 something.
That's
when
helpful.
was I married?
2000 something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2008 maybe.
Okay.
There's been 2 tornadoes. One totally tore apart like this whole little city. But it gave my boys a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Because they were all in construction at that point. And then the second one was like a quarter of a mile from us.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh no, there's no basement and northwest corner or anywhere to hide.
No, you just pray you don't blow away.
Yeah,
See,
it didn't get us, but it was close enough.
The thing about these natural disasters is that everybody then goes back through their life experience and compares their natural disasters. And that's good for about an hour of being in somebody's apartment in your basement. But after a while, you sort of run out of natural disasters to discuss.
I have something that I think might be a natural disaster for you.
Coming up or having lived through?
I read this morning.
Oh.
I read that the University of Michigan, the very well-respected and hard to get into University of Michigan,
Yes,
has decided that they're erasing all grades for freshmen and just doing your freshman year on a pass-fail basis.
they give you your transcript now on a beer koozie? What the hell?
I know. They said they're doing it for quote unquote mental health reasons. I'm sorry, but I worked my ass off for my C's in college. I don't want it to be pass or fail. Can you believe that?
That's bizarro.
Yeah, it's a new pilot program because of mental health.
I'm very
for freshmen.
I'm very dedicated to the Darwinian school of college. Either you can hack it or you can't. And I say this knowing that I sound kind of hard-hearted. So the big cutie went to a demanding school, but with massive grade inflation. So all of your craziness happened before you got in.
Yeah.
But once you were in, they kind of wrapped you up in little warm feathers. And I'm pretty convinced that almost nobody's grades meant anything after that. But he took one class pass-fail, and basically he did no work. That's what he did when he took his one class pass-fail. So that's my experience of that. And then the small cutie went to a Canadian university where they are purely survival of the fittest. It is their top university in the entire country, but they let a lot of people in, and then they watch them. What are those movies, where people just get winnowed out in a bloody pile on the shoulder? All those movies, like Death Race 2000 or whatever those things are.
Death Race 2000,
yeah,
yes.
The whole university run like Death Race 2000. And I shouldn't even say this, but people took their lives regularly at this university. And my full sympathies are with the parents of these kids. And to be fair, it was during COVID, so things were not normal. But you should, if my kid can't hack it, what I said to my kid when people were literally jumping off buildings, I said, look, you want to come home? You come home. You don't get to jump off a building. You get to either do the freaking work or you come home. There is
see, if I had been his mother, I would have said, you just keep changing your major until you find something that you can get A's in.
Well, we're two different kinds of mothers, clearly.
Yes,
But
we are.
but I mean, so what's the point of, and by the way, if you're coming to the University of Michigan from out of state, that's where they make their money. It's the
Yeah.
same in Canada. You're Canadian, 50 cents your tuition. People from out of the country, $1,000,000 your tuition. And that's how they make sure that the Canadians can all go for 50 cents. That's how they do it.
But would you want your doctor to be able to say, I passed my freshman year at U of M? I mean, that's just, I don't know.
Well, it basically just means that they're doing 3 years of grade averaging.
I don't.
And you know what?
Can I say the word pussy?
Yes, you can.
What a bunch of
Why,
pussy.
yes, you can. And you just did. Although, again, this is an interesting thought because the big cutie has a friend who's absolutely super brilliant. She's in medical school now, as a matter of fact. But it took her a couple of years to get in because her freshman year, she knew that she liked a lot of things, but she didn't know what she was really good at. So she got some A's and some A minuses and B pluses and in a very fancy, demanding school. But because in her freshman year, she got some of those grades, she didn't get into medical school for like 2 years after her graduation. She had to go work in a lab and do research. So the point that I'm making is maybe it's a good idea that your freshman year, you get to try different things and it's not going to count against you if you want to go to some ridiculously demanding graduate program. I don't know. I
think that's what community colleges are for. That's my. I mean, if you're paying tuition like at U of M, which is not cheap, even if you live in the state of Michigan, by the way, I would expect my kid to be going to school and getting letter grades.
Fully functional.
Yeah, because like I said,
I never
I
knew
switched
you
my
had
major something like 4 or 5 times till I got
So you
into
wouldn't flunk out?
Parks and Recreation and decided I'm really good at bartending and roller skating and fishing.
I think that probably we've just run into a little bit of your inner Turi hard acidness. I think we finally hit the vein there.
Oh, I just remember my dad when I told him that I was changing my major to recreation and park administration.
And he said, aren't you already doing that anyhow?
Yeah, pretty much.
But,
Shocking.
Very shocking news. Yep.
I don't know. I don't even know if anyone needs to go to college anymore.
Ooh.
Maybe doctors do. Doctors and
Ooh.
lawyers. I'm coming from a point of I now live amongst the trades and the trades that will always be needed. You know, like electricians and carpenters and these guys that can't get replaced by AI
Yet.
Right.
There's no robot that can build your house yet.
Right.
Although there may be like some factory somewhere where they can, what is that, computer printing? They can computer print you a house someday. You don't know. Could be.
Hopefully I'm dead by then. But I would rather have like one guy to be able to blame and not a computer.
Oh, if only it was just one guy to be able to blame. If only.
No, I think a lot of kids go to college who don't belong there, and they're there because their parents expect it or their school pushes them.
You know, that is true, and that is changing because it used to be like the school that my kids went to, a Chicago public school that you had to test into high school, but still, it was 7,000 kids, and you know, not all those kids are geniuses. And I volunteered as a parent to help kids write their college essays. And some of these kids, I saw their essays and I thought, if English is your first language, you might want to consider going to trade school because but the school's big thing was what percent of their graduates went on to college or the military. And they were going for almost 100% and they got it. But the question is, like, what kind of college? And what's happening now is that all those little colleges for the kids, like that kid whose essay I looked at where I thought, you know, maybe nail technician would be a good idea for you.
We need those too.
Yes, we do.
Don't make fun of them.
Need them, right. So maybe the colleges that gave degrees to those people are the ones that should be going away now and changing into, let's teach you how to fix a car. That would be better. I agree.
I mean, looking back, I don't know if I would have gone to college if I had the choice because I've
Are you
never
kidding? You
used
totally
anything
would
I
not.
learned.
You would not have got anywhere within 100 miles of a college if you'd had a choice.
Well, I know.
You
That's
would
what
have,
I just said.
you would have done what
I hated
journalists
school.
used to do. You would have gotten a job as the copy person, and then you would have worked your way up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they don't do that anymore. Well, there
Those
aren't any-
jobs don't exist anymore. No.
No, those jobs don't exist anymore.
No.
But yeah, I
But the
don't know.
nail technicians, they're at
Pass, fail.
100% employment. Although,
And they have to be licensed. They have to pass tests.
well, theoretically, although I saw there's an online, I can't think of anything stupider than an online nail technician degree. Like, how do they test you? But there is such, I saw it advertised on YouTube. Like, you can get your degree in being a nail technician online. And I'm like, how do you not pass a test online for where you stuck on the fake nail? How could you possibly? And would you want somebody who'd never touched a human being to be potchking around with those chemicals and that radiating heat? You could end up with a set of 10 acrylic star-spangled nail tips stuck on the end of your nose.
You could probably.
Oh, there's
okay.
the thunder. You heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where I'm going to be back in the basement pretty soon.
Your thunder made my dog stop barking out there.
Ooh.
So I got eerily quiet.
Here's a new metropolitan de-evolution note for you.
Uh-huh.
This is new. Yeah, there's the dog, the thunder, the dog. I'm not doing anything about it. This is podcast verite. If I go up in a whirling tornado, then you're going to hear it first on this podcast. Still whirling. Okay.
And I'll be singing. You
get the job of putting up the podcast in that case, our last and
I'm
final.
good at soundtracks.
And of course, as is typical, our last and final will be me complaining about the treatment that my kids should have gotten as opposed to the coddling that the university gave the big cutie and how they should have smacked him around some more because to the depths of my soul, that's what I believe. Smack him around, I say. The Thunderbirds are back in town, so we've got Thunder and the Thunderbirds practicing. Although yesterday we thought they were practicing early. For those of you who don't know, the Chicago Air and Water Show comes up, and usually every other year it's the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds. But apparently the Blue Angels are busy, perhaps around the Strait of Hormuz. Who knew? But we don't know. We don't know where they are. We don't. It's not a political show anyway. Although
no politics.
I have to say, no matter who's the president, the idea of the president being bundled onto a catering cart.
I know.
If you missed it, they moved our president from Air Force One Gilded Edition to Air Force One Bronze Plan to a regular Air Force jet. And the way they did it was to stuff him into a catering truck.
That had to have been a big old catering cart to get him to the truck.
I can tell you that if you want to get good press, and again, this is not a political show, but if you want to get good press, a way to do that is not to leave the members of the press on the plane that you believe has been credibly targeted to be blown out of the sky. Leave them sitting on there and tell them to pull their window shades down, which apparently is what they were told to do. Just pull down the window shades. You'll be fine. And then
I have so much to say about that, but I'm not going to say a word.
You yourself get off the plane. Look, it's not his fault. It wouldn't matter who the president was. They would pull you off that plane. The question is, are you the kind of person who says, not without my media contingent, or are you the kind of person who says, nothing I can do, not up to me?
Yeah, see, I wouldn't leave anybody except maybe the pilot.
I wouldn't want to be that pilot either.
Well, I'd give him a parachute.
It's not like you can take evasive measures from a 737. You cannot do that.
You can jump
No.
over water?
No.
Over the Strait of Hormuz?
Have you ever seen an escape hatch on a passenger? No. They got to go down that same, don't wear your high heels and don't take your purse slide that everybody else has to go down.
Have you ever been down one of those?
Why would I have been down one of those and still be flying? Yeah, no. If I'd had to disembark off an emergency blow up chute, you would never catch me on an airplane again, because once that thing happens that you have to train and practice for, but that you think will never ever actually happens, that's it. Game over for me.
Well, I'm flying on Thursday,
Yeah,
So
no.
now you've put that into my brain.
You put it into your
I have to-
brain. You
I
did
have
it
to-
yourself.
I don't know what you have to wear.
Not
go
high
down the
heels.
slide?
Not high heels.
I don't wear high heels
Right.
ever.
So you're fine. You're fine in your Doc Martens or your Converses. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You can wear your fuzzy slippers. Doesn't matter.
Just keep your Blue Angels away from my plane.
Security theater. It's all security theater. That's what it is. This is usually the part where we thank you and I suggest you buy my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. But we have decided that at least one of you deserves some sort of prize for listening. I have no idea exactly what it will be, but it will feature the words Captain Oblivious on it. And all you have to do to win is send an email to Turi at shebopsproductions.com with a short description of whatever your partner or friend or boss or somebody who ought to be paying attention failed to notice, and your mailing address. Marcy and I will pick out the best one, and that will be the winner. You have until August 31st, 2026 to enter, and you have to live in the USA because I don't send things over borders. Good luck.